We have now had 5 beta weekends to try out Icarus, and we've been shown all the biomes that it will launch with. Now that beta weekend 5 has been put to bed, I thought I'd talk about the biomes and how they look and feel, as well as what I think could be added to them in the future. So first of all, we had the forest, or as it's called in the game, the Conifer biome. Very dense green areas with trees, bushes, and angry bears from time to time. There's not too much to say in the way of this biome in terms of changes, as it's pretty nice already, but there are a few additions which I think could make it feel more alive. I feel like it needs more biodiversity. It definitely needs some birds in my opinion, whatever kind of birds they feel would fit in the harsh environment of Icarus. But I feel like with this many trees and berry bushes etc, birds would have surely been put on Icarus. The second thing I actually talked to a dev about on my stream. I asked if they would ever think about putting bees on Icarus. The reason being is for plants and trees to spread, you need pollinators, and bees are the chads of the pollinating world. Other species of insects can do it also, but bees are the best. Plus it would be pretty funny to accidentally knock a bee's hive out of a tree while chopping it down, and having the bees get angry with you. Or you could become, haha, get it, a beekeeper and use the honey for honey glazed meat or other foods and medicine. Other than these additions, I feel like just more forest animals would make it feel more alive, rather than almost every animal being a deer or rabbit with the occasional bear or wolf. Unsure if this is their intention once the beta tests are more developed or not, but I personally would like to see a large variety of wildlife eventually. I don't mean for release, even just 6 months from now would be fine once the core of the game has been nailed down. The second biome that we got shown was the Arctic, which I already sort of covered purely as people were complaining about the Arctic being empty, which is pretty much what the real Arctic is. In terms of changes to this, I do agree, however, that we should have more terrain diversity in the sense of both elevation and the type of terrain. I feel like in the Arctic there should be some frozen lakes, or a few trees like willow or birch trees. Before someone gets mad at me for mentioning trees, the warmer edges of the Arctic do have a few types of trees that can grow, so it's not too far-fetched to have those at the edge of the biome. The frozen lakes, however, could be used for ice fishing with the proper tools, and the trees mentioned before could be there, but very sparse. Obviously, we don't want the Arctic to end up being easy peasy to live in, or it will be very boring to do. I do also think some glacier type areas would be pretty cool, similar to what's there already, but deeper, and potentially put some of the caves down there, purely because right now they don't seem to serve any other purpose than a potential broken leg or a wolf trap. In terms of changes to the wildlife, as mentioned in that previous video, you could add Arctic foxes, seals to go on large ice lakes, and even penguins if you want. But I hold the same opinion for this as I do with the Conifer biome, in the sense that I don't expect all of this before launch. But seeing it even 6 months from now should be pretty fair as a player to expect to see some improvements. Because right now the Arctic has wolves, polar bears and snow rabbits only, and while I do like the biome and how it looks and feels, it does feel a little lacking in that all-important biodiversity and variation. The third and final biome that we've been shown this weekend is the desert biome, and I really like the desert. It had a nice range of terrain, and it seems like there's quite a few mountainous areas within it you can build on, which is what I did. The first change I'd like to see in the desert is one that surprises even me, but maybe less water? I'm unsure if others felt the same, but I didn't have to go very far at all for water, which in a desert was really odd. I thought the desert would be really hard to live in and force you to use something like a water collector, which traps and collects moisture in the air and slowly filters it down into a container, or something along those lines. But the amount of water, at least in the area for the mission this weekend, was huge. Other than that, honestly, not too much to say on the desert. Again, that magic word, biodiversity. Camels, elephants, cheetahs, crocodiles in the oasis lakes would be pretty cool too, but yeah, you get the point. Me saying something like blah blah in 6 months or so. But yeah, I feel like the biomes are going in the right direction. They just slowly need additions to feel more alive as you walk around. Maybe some variation in trees within the Conifer biome as well would be nice. Let me know what you think of the biomes and what you'd change about them if you could. Also remember to channel your feedback at the devs as well, as they are always open to it. But with that, I will see you for the next video.